The Belgian First Division A is the top league competition for association football clubs in Belgium. Following the 2015-16 season, it was renamed from the Belgian Pro League, contested by 16 clubs. It operates on a system of promotion and relegation, with the Belgian First Division B seasons run from late July to early May, with teams playing 30 matches each in the regular season, and then entering playoffs 1 or playoffs 2 according to the position in the regular season. Playoffs 1 are contested by the top 6 clubs in the regular season, with each club playing each other twice. Playoffs 2 are contested by teams ranked 7 to 15 in the regular season, divided in 2 groups of 6 teams playing each other twice. The team finishing in 16th place is relegated. As of 2014, the league was sponsored by B&Bev, brewers of Jupiler beer, and officially known as Jupiler Pro League. The sponsor name for the 2016-17 Belgian First Division A is still unknown. The competition was created in 1895 by the Royal Belgian Football Association and was first won by FC Liégeois. Of the 74 clubs to have competed in the First Division since its creation, 15 have been crowned champions of Belgium. RSC Anderlecht is the most successful league club with 33 titles, followed by Club Brugge KV, Union Saint-Gilloise and Standard Liège. It is currently ranked 10th in the UEFA rankings of leagues based on performances in European competitions over the last 5 years. The competition was ranked 3rd when the UEFA first published the ranking in 1979, and also the next year in 1980, which is the best ranking the Belgian First Division has ever achieved. History. Origins. The first league in Belgian football was held in 1895-96 as a round-robin tournament with 7 teams: Antwerp FC, FC Bruges, FC Liégeois, RC de Brussels, Leopold Club de Brussels, SC de Brussels and Union d'Ixelles. FC Liégeois became the first champion of Belgium. The first 8 titles in Belgian football were all won by FC Liégeois or RC de Brussels. There was no promotion and relegation system at the time, but the last 2 clubs of the league withdrew and a new club entered the competition. During the 1896-97 season, SC de Brussels withdrew, so the 1897-98 season was played among 5 clubs only. In the seasons 1898-99 and 1899-1900, the Football Association introduced a new format with 2 leagues at the top level and then a final game in 2 legs. The format, though, changed back to 1 league with 9 clubs in 1901 and then again to 2 leagues from 1901-02 to 1903-04, this time with a final round among the top 2 teams of each league. In 1904-05, the championship was organized with 1 league of 11 teams. Athletic and Running Club de Brussels withdrew during the season, and from the 1906 season on, a system of promotion and relegation was introduced, with the winner of the second division replacing the last-placed team of the first division. In 1906-07, Union Saint-Gilloise won the 4th consecutive title, as RC de Brussels had from 1899 to 1900 to 1902-03. Both clubs claimed the next 3 titles before CS Bruges won the first title, finishing 1 point ahead the rival of FC Bruges. At the end of the 1907-08 season, the number of teams in the first division was increased from 10 to 12 clubs, with promotion champion RC de Gand and runner-up ESC Forest being promoted while no first division was relegated. A As World War I approached, Daring Club de Brussels confirmed its status of challenger, even winning the title in 1911-12 and 1913-14. Only Union Saint-Gilloise could face them in that period, winning the 1912-13 championship with a better goal difference. Since 1911-12, 2 clubs are relegated each year to the promotion and 2 clubs from the promotion are promoted. After World War I, during World War I, the football championship was suspended. It resumed in 1919-20 with FC Bruges claiming the first title after 5 second places, among which were 2 lost final games and 1 lost test match. At the end of the 1920-21 season, the number of teams was increased from 12 to 14, with only UCCLE Sport, the last-placed team of the First Division, being relegated, and the first 3 teams from the promotion being promoted. From 1921-22 to 1931-32, the decade was dominated by teams from the province of Antwerp. Beerschot AC, with Raymond Braine, won the first 5 titles. Antwerp FC the first 2, and the small club of Liège SK won the first one in 1931-32. The challengers at the time were CS Bruges, Union Saint-Gilloise, Daring Club de Brussels and Standard Club Liège. Starting the 25th of December 1932, Union Saint-Gilloise had a record 60 games unbeaten run in the championship, winning the 1932-33, 1933-34 and 1934-35 titles. The rival of Union during this period was Daring Club de Brussels. They claimed the next 2 championships. Following the comeback of player Raymond Braine to Beerschot, the Antwerp club won the last 2 titles before World War II. On the 10th of May 1940, German troops invaded Belgium and the seasons 1939-40 and 1940-41 were suspended. The competition resumed in September 1941 and Liège SK won the second title. At the end of the season, no club was relegated and the number of clubs was increased from 14 to 16. The next season, Liège SK lost 3 key players and they ended at 3rd place, while the neighbours of KV Mechelen became champion for the first time in their history. In 1943-44, Antwerp FC won the title. The league was suspended again in 1944-45 because of World War II. After World War II, the league resumed play in 1945-46 with a title for KV Mechelen. At the start of that season, the First Division went from 16 to 19 clubs, with 3 clubs promoted from the First Division and no team being relegated. The Top Scorer award was also introduced that season, won by Bert de Klen from KV Mechelen. 2 seasons later, 5 clubs were relegated and 2 promoted. In 1946-47, RSC Anderlecht won the first championship with Jeff Mermans as a key striker, and they dominated the Belgian football over the next 9 years, with 6 more titles, with KV Mechelen and FC Liège claiming the remaining titles. The Belgian Golden Shoe Award was introduced in 1954, rewarding the best player in the First Division for the past calendar year. thus over 2 half-seasons. In the late 1950s, Standard lifted the trophy for the first time in 1957-58, and they eventually became one of Anderlecht's biggest rivals in the league. The other titles in the late 1950s were won by Antwerp FC in Anderlecht. In the 1960s, the Anderlecht team of Paul van Himst claimed 6 titles, while Standard claimed 3 and Lierse 1. Standard, with key player Wilfried van Moët, then won the first 2 titles of the 1970s, which gave them their only treble so far. 1974-75 was the only season with as many as 20 clubs in the league's history. Belgian clubs started to perform well in European Cups in the 1970s, with Anderlecht winning the 1975-76 European Cup Winners' Cup and Club Brugge losing to Liverpool FC in the 1975-76 UEFA Cup final. The following season, Anderlecht lost to Hamburger SV in the Cup Winners' Cup final, and in 1977-78 they won for the second time, while Club Brugge lost the European Cup to Liverpool FC. In the Belgian First Division, Club Brugge claimed 4 titles in the decade, while Anderlecht claimed 2 and are white daring Molenbeek, with Johan Boskamp, and KSK Beveren, with goalkeeper Jean-Marie Pfaff, each claimed the first Belgian championship. Recent years. In the 1980s, the European successes continued for Belgian clubs, with Standard losing the 1981-82 European Cup Winners' Cup final, Anderlecht winning the 1982-83 UEFA Cup and losing the next UEFA Cup final, and KV Mechelen winning the 1987-88 European Cup Winners' Cup. In the domestic league, Anderlecht won their 20th title in 1986-87, which was also the 4th of the decade. Club Brugge and Standard each won 2 titles in the 1980s, and KSK Beveren and KV Mechelen won each. In the 1990s, Belgium's teams' performances were diminished in European competitions, with only RSC Anderlecht and FC Antwerp reaching the European Cup Winners' Cup final, respectively, in 1989-90 and in 1992-93. In the home league, RSC Anderlecht took 4 titles during the decade, while Club Brugge cemented their status as main contender with 4 titles. The remaining 2 titles went to Lierse SK and newcomer Racing Genk. The 2000s brought a bright European start, with Anderlecht reaching the second group stage in the 2001 UEFA Champions League. But the rest of the decade, Belgian clubs were again not very successful in European competitions. In the league, RSC Anderlecht won 5 titles in the decade, with Club Brugge claiming 2 titles and Racing Genk taking the second title. At the end of the decade, Standard Liège returned as a title contender with 2 consecutive titles, 25 years after the 1982-83 title. At the end of the 2000s, the highest level in Belgian football was reshaped, with a playoff round after the regular season. RSC Anderlecht won the first championship in this new format, which was the 30th title. After another 2 titles for Anderlecht, Cargent was the surprise, winning the championship in 2015. Competition format and naming. Starting with the 2009-10 season, the format of the Pro League has been drastically changed. Playoffs were introduced after the regular season, the number of teams was decreased from 18 to 16, and the calendar has also been modified, with matches being played during the Christmas holiday. Many already criticized the format and point at the Dutch Eredivisie, where the playoffs are not being played played anymore. RSC Anderlecht won the first championship in this new format, the Belgian Pro League 2009-10, which was the 30th Belgian championship. Matches are usually played on Saturdays at 20:00. Some match days are played on Wednesdays, however. Furthermore, in recent years, some games are played either on Fridays or during the weekend at different times, as decided by the owner of television rights. Each team playing the Pro League must have been granted the Belgian professional football license, guaranteeing the club has no excessive debts, has a secure stadium, etc. This was introduced in season 2001-02 to decrease the number of teams in the division and ensure a higher level of professionalism in the clubs playing in the top flight of Belgian football. Originally, clubs that could not get the license were supposed not to be replaced. However, it is still not effective as, for example, KSK Beveren finished 18th in 2001-2002 but were saved as KSC Eendracht ALSD and RWD Molenbeek were refused the license. Following the 2015-16 season, the number of professional teams in Belgium was brought down to 24, which mostly affected the teams playing at the second level of the Belgian football pyramid, as the Belgian Second Division was replaced by the Belgian First Division B and the number of teams dropped to 8. Regular season. Each of the 16 competitors in the Pro League hosts every other team once in the regular season, for a total of 30 matches between July and March. A win earns 3 points and a draw earns 1 point. Teams are ranked by total points, then by total wins and finally by goal difference, number of scored goals, number of away goals and number of away wins. If teams are still level, a test match is played in 2 legs to determine the final order in the standings. A playoff phase is then played from March to May. Championship playoff. The point system in the championship playoff is the same as during the regular season, except that each team starts with half of the points they won in the regular season, rounded up to the nearest integer. The points gained by rounding are deducted in the case of a tie. The top 6 teams from the regular season enter the championship playoff, with the first place team winning the Championship of Belgium. Each team plays their opponents twice, and the teams are ranked by points from rounding, wins, etc. as in the regular season. Last updated following the 2015-16 season Europa League playoff. Until 2016, the teams ranked 7 to 14 after the regular season enter the playoffs too, with teams ranked 7th, 9th, 12th and 14th entering the Group A and teams ranked 8th, 10th, 11th and 13th entering the Group B. In each group, each team plays each of its 3 opponents twice. The winner of each group plays the final game in 2 legs to determine the winner of the playoffs too. The winner of the playoffs too then plays a home and away game against either the 4th-placed or 5th-placed team from the playoffs, one for the final Europa League ticket, with the opponent depending on the fact if the Belgian Cup winner ended in the top 4 of the playoff one or not. From 2016, the system was changed, as now the teams ranked 7 to 15 are joined by 3 teams from the Belgian First Division B and divided into 2 groups of 6 teams. The winners of both groups now play a single match to determine the overall playoff winner, with the winner playing the 5th-placed team from playoff 1 in a single match for the final Europa League ticket. Relegation playoff. Until 2015, a relegation playoff was played between the teams ranked 15th and 16th after the regular season. It consisted of 5 games between the 2 teams. The 15th placed team started the playoffs with 3 points, whereas the 16th placed team started from 0. The loser of the relegation playoff was relegated to the second division. The winner of that playoff had to enter the Belgian second division final round with 3 teams from the second division. The winner of this final round played in the first division the season thereafter. From 2015 the relegation playoff ceased to exist, as now the 16th placed team relegates directly, whereas the 15th placed team takes part in the Europa League playoff. The 2015-16 Belgian Pro League was an exception, as during that season the 15th placed team did not take part in any playoff, with the season for that team ending after the regular season. Qualification for European competitions. For the 2010-11 season, the Belgian champion and the runner-up qualify for the third UEFA Champions League qualifying round. The Belgian Cup winner qualifies for the play-off of the UEFA Europa League. The third-place team qualifies for the third and last qualifying round, and the winner of the game between the playoffs two winner and the fourth-place team qualifies for the second qualifying round. Naming 1895 to 1904, Coupe de Championnat 1904 to 1926, Division 1, 1926 to 1952, Division d'Honneur, 1952 to 1993, Division 1, 1993 to 2008, Jupiler League, 2008 to 2016, Jupiler Pro League. Media coverage. The Belgian Football Association sells the television rights for the Belgian First Division every 3 years. In 2005, the newly created Belgian TV channel Belgacom TV bought the TV rights for a record amount of €36 million per season. In May 2008, the rights were again sold to Belgacom TV in association with public sector TV channels RTBF and VRT for an amount of €45.7 million per season. RTBF and VRT thus received the rights to show summaries of First Division games, as well as rights to a weekly magazine on the competition. Belgacom TV received the rights to show each game in the competition. Premier Sports hold Pro League rights in the United Kingdom. Clubs, champions, bold clubs play in top flight. Italic clubs dissolved or merged. Clubs that played in First Division. A total of 74 clubs have played in the First Division since its creation in 1895. Among those 74 clubs, 44 still exist, and the 30 other clubs either went into liquidation or merged with another club. For the 2016-17 season, the participating clubs are known and listed below. Players in the Belgian First Division can be of any nationality, and a club can sign as many foreign players as desired. The first club to start a game with 11 foreign players was KSC Lokeren in 2001. Every year, players are elected for Belgian Golden Shoe Awards, the highest awards a player can receive in Belgian competitions, but also for Belgian Professional Football Awards. Players with African descent, origin or nationality can claim a Belgian Ebony Shoe Award. Players compete also every season for the Belgian First Division top scorer since the 1945-46 season. Top scorers Erwin van den Berg is the only player to have claimed the top scorer title 4 consecutive times, between 1979-80 and 1982-83. He is also the player to have claimed the most Belgian First Division top scorer titles in his career. Victor Wegria and Josip Weber won the title 3 consecutive 5 times. Wegria eventually finished top scorer a 4th time in 1962-63, still with RFC Liégeois, making him the second player with the most top scorer titles in the history of Belgian First Division top scorers. The introduction of this title of honor in 1945 was maybe a little too late for first winner Bert de Clen, as this player has scored the most goals in the history of the Belgian First Division since 1895, though he won the top scorer title only once. Other players in the top 10 of the all-time top scorer ranking in the Belgian First Division include Joseph Mermens, Bernard Voorhoef, Rig Coppens, Erwin van den Berg and Paul van Himst. The first foreign player to claim the title was Dutchman Jan Mulder in 1966-67 with RSC Anderlecht. Since then, 24 foreign players have finished top scorer. Only 2 foreign players claimed the trophy more than once: Josip Weber and Austrian Alfred Riedel. Best international results by Belgian clubs. From the quarter-finals upwards, bold clubs play in top flight. Italic clubs dissolved emerged.